What's going on, guys? I just wanted to give you guys a little reloading tip or technique that I use. You know, a lot of people have different techniques, but what I do when I'm out at the range or out at the desert, when I practice with my firearm, you know, a lot of people, what they do is, okay, just a heads up, both magazines are empty, nothing in the chamber. Okay, well, what a lot of people do is when they fire their gun, they'll clear the weapon. They'll clear the magazine. You know, this one is a 9-round magazine, so they'll fire, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, all the way to 9, and then the slide locks back, and then they drop the mag, and they reload their next, and drop the slide. Now I know that's not good for the firearm to do that a whole lot, but I'm just doing it for the sake of the video. I don't want to use live ammunition, but they drop the slide and then they continue to refire. Well, that's not the technique that I really use. What I do is it takes practice. It does, but you know, you got to really dedicate yourself to practicing with your firearm. But with the flush fitting magazine, this is 9. You know, and I carry +1, so it's 10 rounds when I'm at the range, and I'm allowed to do that. And what I do is when I'm firing, you know, I'll count out my rounds to myself. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. And when I hit 9, boom, the 9th shot, the round will go, you know, the slide's going to go back and it's going to reload the last round, the 10th round. Well, on that 10th round, after I fire 9, I'm already with my other hand, you know, I'll actually let go of my grip with my other hand, reach, grab my other magazine, drop the magazine, reload, and continue firing. And that's the technique I use. You know, it takes a little practice. It's kind of hard to do here on camera with the way I have this set up. I kind of just have the camera lying on something, so I can't really do a whole lot of movement. But like I said, the way I do that again is I count out my rounds. You know, this might be a technique. I don't know. This is just something I do myself. You know, just something that I picked up. And after, like I said, once I fire that last, you know, 1, 2, 3 to 9, once I fire 9, I know that it's going to load the last round. So as it's loading the last round, when I've hit 9, I'm already going for my next magazine. Drop it, reload, and I'm refiring. And to me, it saves a little bit of time. You know, everybody's got a different speed, and everyone has a different technique. But that's what I do myself. And I will say it does take some practice. You know, I'm still not. I used to do it a lot with the Glock 23. You know, it was a 13-round magazine +1. That was 14. So I had it already counted out. 1, 2, 3. It was like second nature. When I got to that 13th round, drop, reload, and I'm ready to go again. And it's just continuous firing. And you know, I got really pretty good with that. And, you know, then I traded out to this one. So this one's kind of a new learning curve with me. You know, it's got a whole different, you know, type of magazine, a different magazine well. It's got this little lip here, you know, to help assist. I don't know if you can see that on camera. It might not be enough light, but that's what I do. So, like I said, once it gets to that 9th round with this gun, like I said, because it's 9+1 with the flush fitting magazine, you know, it's the same, goes back if this is a 13 round, because I carry 3 magazines, a 9 and 2 13s. So same with this one. When I get to 12, I start reaching for my other magazine, drop the magazine, and reload the next. So if you guys want to give that a shot, you know, try it out. Tell me what you think. It seems to work great for me. You know, I don't have any issues with it, and it just takes practice, guys. Practice makes perfect. So if you guys got another reloading tip, let me know. If you know something that's faster, something that's more efficient, you know, please let me know. Like I said, I'm always looking for advice, and I'm always looking for other tips and other people's perspectives. So if you guys get a chance, just get back to me. Let me know what you do and how well you do with it. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching.